Now to an I-Team investigation. Questions are being asked in the town of Summers after a dispute between a local family and the high school's former dance team advisor ended up in court. It's already cost taxpayers thousands, and the bill could get much higher. Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Parker is here now with what he uncovered. Eric?
This all started as a dispute between a 17-year-old and a 24-year-old. Eventually, parents and school administrators got involved. Neither side can claim victory. All that's clear is that the losers here are the taxpayers.
Hannah Stone loves to dance. This is YouTube video of a performance by the Summers High School dance team during Hannah's senior season. Going into the year, she had already been voted head captain by her fellow dancers.
She's a great dancer, so the kids looked up to her.
For Richard and Deborah Stone, it was a big deal that their daughter had so much success dancing. She had always dealt with severe shyness and even had a special education plan to help deal with that. The dance team was the perfect forum, but then they claim Hannah began to be bullied, not by a teammate, but by her own coach, to the point where she quit the team.
What was the first sign of trouble?
A Facebook inbox saying that I don't know who was chosen captain, but I'm going to make that decision.
Shortly before the start of the season, the school chose Summers High School grad Alison Desrosiers to be the volunteer coach. The Stones say Hannah was alarmed to find Desrosiers wanted her to reapply to be captain, when they thought it was already a done deal. Soon after, her parents decided to dig into the team's brand new Facebook page. They say they found a link to Desrosiers' personal page and dozens of inappropriate pictures.
Well, drinking alcohol, sexually provocative positions, smoking.
Already upset about how the captain position was handled, the Stones took the Facebook pictures to Principal Gary Kotzen.
That's correct, and it's at that point where the principal took our complaints to the coach, and that's where it really began to get nasty for our daughters.
In the weeks that followed, the Stones say Desrosiers first demoted Hannah from being head captain. Then they claim at the season's biggest dance, she put Hannah in the back row while the other seniors were right up front. And at senior night, they say Coach Desrosiers gave Hannah a bouquet of broken carnations.
She'd walk through the door in tears, crying.
They went to the principal, the superintendent, even the school board. They collected hundreds of pages of documents. They insisted they were right, that the coach had to go. Eventually, the school board told them to just stop, accusing them of bullying Desrosiers.
This is crazy. I mean,
I took it as
how can this be?
But that's exactly what Alison Desrosiers thinks. She's breaking her silence to the I-Team because she says the Stones targeted her when their daughter didn't get her way.
I didn't say anything the whole time I was coaching. Now, it's gone too far. The Stones, Mrs. Stone has actually gone as far as she's stalking me.
Desrosiers says she knew the Stones would be trouble from the first time they met, before the season, when she says they told her that Hannah was head captain and Hannah was in charge.
That I should ask for Hannah's approval prior to making any decision final, because she was head captain. And the way I see it is a coach is the one that makes the final decision. That's when it spiraled downhill. And she left that meeting angry at me. That's the first time she called me a bully.
Desrosiers denies giving Hannah Stone broken flowers and says every dancer had some time in the back row. She says 2 of the team's 4 solos that year went to Hannah and her younger sister. As for those Facebook photos, Desrosiers says it was an inadvertent mistake that the dancers saw them, but points out that nothing in those pictures was illegal.
A lot of people have pictures on Facebook of just them with a couple friends. Mrs. Stone tried to make a spectacle of them.
Desrosiers said she's never been accused of bullying before and says the claims now are unfounded.
I do not understand how she can make that comment and send her kids to me every day for 2 hours, for the rest of the year.
While this is a case of he said, she said, there is an unbiased third party. The Stones complained to the State Department of Education, accusing the town of failing to meet Hannah's special education program. After 9 days of testimony earlier this year, a hearing officer issued this report, which included her findings of fact. Alison Desrosiers never got to testify. In fact, the school didn't call any witnesses. The hearing officer found, quote, from the outset, Ms. Desrosiers' tenure as dance team advisor was marked by immaturity, poor judgment, dishonesty, and inappropriate behavior. She also says the school did not do enough to reprimand Desrosiers and blame school administrators for much of the dispute. The state report refers to a school board document referring to the Stones as evil, a word also used in an email by Principal Kotzen calling the Stones' allegations outright lies. But that's not how the hearing officer saw it, concluding there was, quote, outrageous bullying behavior, and that the school system response was inappropriate. Since Hannah has graduated and is now in college in Boston, the hearing officer ordered the school to pay for counseling for Hannah, about $1,400 worth. And that's the part the school is appealing in a federal lawsuit. In addition to the counseling, they'd be on the hook for the expenses of the Stones' lawyer, which could easily top $100,000. And the I-Team uncovered this document saying the school's fight against the Stones has already cost taxpayers between $40,000 and $45,000.
This should have been solved in December of 2009 after meeting with the principal and presenting him with the Facebook pictures.
We asked Superintendent Maynard Suffredini and Principal Gary Kotzen for their side of the story, but neither would answer the I-Team's questions. One clue to their position comes from the school board's legal documents obtained by the I-Team, which refer to the Stones' quote, torrent of complaints, and says their plan to recruit support for their campaign against Ms. Desrosiers backfired.
This is not about the money. We are not doing this to gain.
And Alison Desrosiers says she is simply trying to move on. And she can't understand why the Stones won't do the same.
All boils down to someone who didn't get their way. And that's how everyone else sees it too. And for her to come and attack me, ruin the program, and say horrible lies, it's got to stop.
Alison Desrosiers is coaching in Bolton now, and part of why she chose to talk to the I-Team is that she says the Stones have filed complaints about her there too, even though they have no connection to that team. Desrosiers says she did hire a lawyer. She's considering legal action against the Stones. As for the federal lawsuit, it's in its very early stages. We'll keep you posted on what it ends up costing the people of Summers. With the I-Team, Eric Parker, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.